that was one of the original complaints about TikTok and how
Mike was out here just posting shirtless TikToks all
and they were like
too much
unacceptable.
man titty, too much man food.
Unacceptable.
Like, we cannot have this.
You
Like,
busted too hard,
this, man. Okay.
No, it's not even about even the fat. No. Not even the fat factor. It was what do you call it? If you appeared too poor, they would take it down. And this is an article I read about the Chinese company that controls it.
How do you appear too poor?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's some
that
some communism shit.
That sounds like you mean that means that we go by race, right? I mean, right?
What do you mean?
Well, no. If it's a Chinese app, maybe the darker your skin was, like if you were a dark Chinese person.
Yeah, I don't think. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think they mean that. Like, I mean, I've seen videos of people like in giant. Like honestly, any person I've seen, mostly they're like when you see the background of their house, it's like they got like a gigantic kitchen, or like they have like ceilings with skylights and like that's the houses that I see. So I mean, like poverty, like in their video, you can tell they're like lower class. Like that's what has the wording that the article probably used. So, but that was back in the beginning, and I think that TikTok has put out a statement saying that they, no longer follow that. Right? Yeah, you can be as big or as poor as you want to be on TikTok.
But you see a lot of videos from like people's room and stuff like that.
I know. Yes, I was thinking
in their like bedroom or something. They're little. Yeah.
But I will say, like a lot of the because Mike talked about Charlie D'Amelio. Is that her name, Charlie?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Who knows if that's her real name?
But like a lot of the younger TikTokers that have these huge followings, they come from like pretty, seemingly wealthy families, because like you see their rooms and you see their kitchens and stuff like Mike was saying, like they seem to be pretty well off.
Well, even all the equipment too, like they've got to have like a phone stand. Their room is lit.
Well, Mike, they could just have like an iPhone 12, just like you, and they'd
be yeah.
Listen, don't be mad that you got this quality. No, Kavan was he was shall you say gaslighting me about my quality? No.
So Mike thinks he's better than us this week because he severely increased his video quality. He's in 1080p right now. We're at like 480p. So
I'm probably at like I don't know.
You're 480. You're 480. I'm like 720, and Mike's 1080p crushing right now. We need to up our game, but it's okay. Let's get into episode 23, Poorly Made Podcast. We're starting it off hot.
Yes.
With the newest TikTok trend.
I mean, it's like
trends.
One of them, because one's like a month old.
Yeah. Still, I guess the busset challenge is over, and the silhouette challenge is taken over.
You guys are gonna have to explain this because
Mike supposedly doesn't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, like somehow I'm not on TikTok, and I know about it. Also,
you don't have to be. I'm a connoisseur. TikTok. You could see.
That's true. I am a connoisseur of beautiful women.
Wow. All right. Talk about that later.
But Mike, somehow Mike doesn't know about this.
I probably have seen it, but like I don't know. I didn't know
the name.
Something was called that. Yeah, like I know there's challenges. I know there's dance challenges. I know that girls dance 2 challenges and they're bussing
this is next level.
I feel like he knows it.
I don't even really 100% know what buss it means.
All right, so Mike. All right, so we're gonna give you. You have 30 seconds.
Just go on TikTok.
Search, or go on TikTok. Google search Bussit BSSIT and
you forgot the U.
Challenge.
That was strange.
I said BUS.
I just heard BSST.
No, BUSSIT.
Yeah.
Should I just do videos?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you definitely want to do videos.
Drake reacts to Degrassi co-star's viral Bussit challenge.
Oh, is it the one that did the G-string thing? What's her name? She was attractive. Did you guys watch Degrassi?
Oh hell yeah, that was my shit.
That was my show.
Yeah, we don't want to get flagged for the music. Let's
you
turn the music down. Turn the
Okay,
music
this
down so we don't get
girl's
flagged. You
feeling
only need the
herself.
audio. Yes. Okay. Let's get the play-by-play. What's happening now?
This girl's like feeling herself, finger giving the middle finger. She's like bouncing on her knees in front of a guy. Is this
That's
the
probably a rapper.
challenge? Yeah.
Okay. So
Can you
let's just
send
break
me
it
a
down.
challenge?
So the challenge is
We
you
got
sing you kind of do like a little dance whatever motion to this new song "Bust It" by some artist that I don't know, and
yeah.
you know, you drop it down low, you drop it down, get your eagle on, kind of, but to the side. So you
Right.
see the side profile. It's supposed to show your curvaceous figure, but the idea is
Okay.
that you go from being in like comfy house clothes, and then when the beat drops, you transition into like a party dress or like a tight
Yeah,
outfit,
your
and
glow up basically.
right, and then you use your Megan the Stallion knees and you bounce and you know kind of bounce that ass a little bit, and that's like a
Right.
huge or was a huge trend that we were seeing on Instagram, on TikTok, because I don't really use TikTok like that, but I've seen a lot of them on Instagram.
Yeah.
Mm.
So now what we have is the silhouette challenge.
Yeah, and I've seen that one already with it. Yeah, it's like backlit red.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to explain to that. All right. So I guess my question is, I guess, um, uh,
What is the
disclaimer
question?
alert. We're gonna be this is gonna be a slight objectification going on at this moment. Which challenge do you guys prefer or find more entertaining between the two?
Oh well, I mean, without yeah, I don't need a silhouette. I want to see details. So the other one, I'm
I
already
would
seeing
have
a
to.
couple bust it, and I'm just like, whoa.
I would have to disagree. I don't even think it's close here. Um, I get that some people like the mystery, like they like that, you know, they like thinking about what they could be seeing. It's like, oh, I can't see it all, but I can use my imagination, whatever, whatever. But that's not doing it for me. I want to see it. I want to see that thing bounce, and that's what I'm here for. But I will take your busset challenge and raise you. What's it called? Big Bang. Have you seen the Big Bang challenge?
Is that a
That's
new one
one.
too?
It's not new. It was around the time of Busted, but I think Busted like just blew up and
Oh my
crushed the
god!
Big Bang.
Now I see. I didn't
Now
even
you
know
got to
about
see the
this one.
Big Bang. You got to see the Big Bang. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
I don't know if we
Oh,
should
I
take the
think I know
time
this
now.
one. Yes, yes, where they show their butt.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is the winner. I don't know why that one didn't. Maybe it was too graphic,
Wow,
but I mean, it's
that
all
girl
on
is
TikTok.
definitely not wearing underwear. I'm gonna stop watching
All
this
right,
now.
wait, hold on. Let me.
Listen, you guys are gonna get in trouble. I'm single. I have no issues.
Yeah,
But
like
the
that's not
Big Bang
even like.
challenge,
I am a
that's not even
grown.
kosher.
I am a grown man. I
The Big
can
Bang one.
do what I want. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just pick any one.
I don't really like the challenges. I got to be honest. I like other stuff. Like there's this girl that me and my girlfriend like that posts all videos of like this like information about lakes.
Yeah. I
Like
knew
I
you were
like
gonna.
that
I
kind of
thought you
stuff.
were gonna go hiking, but like
Yeah,
lakes. That
I haven't
works.
gotten
Yeah.
hiking. Nah, yeah, it talks all about lakes. I like the cooking ones, even though
Hmm.
I can't stand some of the people. They're just like, no, yeah, and then do this a little bit of
All
this.
right.
What's crazy
No,
is like I only see those types of TikToks on Reels on Instagram. My TikTok feed or whatever is all like animals doing dumb stuff, like animal voiceovers, some cooking stuff, and like just ridiculous kind of comedian stuff. But Instagram is just filth. Instagram is just disgusting.
still.
Just
Yeah,
too much.
I've looked at what do you call what's that part of Instagram called? Discover.
Mhm.
For our podcast, and I'm just like, where the fuck did this stuff come from?
All right. So I just watched it because obviously I hadn't known about that one. Well, I think
Yeah,
I like seen like thumbnails of it, but I never like
right. Click on it.
um. I think so. Then I feel like we're all in agreement then that like we prefer the busted over the silhouette.
Yes.
Yeah, because I would
Yeah.
say what was the one, the Big Bank one? That's more comparable to Busset
Hmm.
Well,
than
no, but
the.
like this is
Well, I
those are
mean, of
old
the
though.
three, I'm going Big
Oh.
Bang, hands down.
Uh,
Uh, I don't
I'm
know.
making a
See, maybe
deposit.
I haven't gotten a chance to see the whole
Listen, dig
variety.
deep, dig deep.
Well, I can't do that
Take your
now,
time. Yeah, not now.
but like it seems to me that a big part of it is like for one, from my experience, the silhouette has like the difficulty in that like if we're gonna be honest, there are there are participants in it who overestimate their figure.
Mm,
Wow.
If we're
wow.
being, I'm gonna say real take.
Harsher words
I'm
never
it's a
spoken.
real take.
This guy's
The,
doing deep analysis here.
I want to
they,
see you do one of those silhouette challenges.
that's the whole point. I am not so I know what
He knows
who
what
I
he's working
am.
with. Okay, he
Yeah,
knows what he's working with.
yeah, yeah. So there's there's an
I wouldn't say that
overestimation.
I've seen. I wouldn't say that I've seen silhouette challenges that it's like, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. I haven't. Um, I and again, like
Not
I'm
you
not
shouldn't
looking
be
for the.
doing this, but like
There's levels to this.
yeah, like there are levels.
Yeah.
There's another
Yeah, I
side.
haven't really.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut
Go
you
ahead.
off.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
There's another side of TikTok that I saw the other day, and I think it's somewhat controversial enough to get your take on it. Like, I enjoyed it specifically just because it seemed like the people in it were just so happy. There's basically this girl. Her sister is deaf, and all of her videos are basically um focused on her sister
Mm,
and her being deaf, and so most of the videos, like she did like multiple part videos about her sister like trying to make the sound that she thinks things make. So like she'll like flush a toilet, rattle like beads or something, turn on like a vacuum cleaner. And so the
mhm,
sister tries to emulate the sound. And so she's deaf, so it doesn't sound anything like it, obviously. But
mhm.
like she's making the sounds, obviously, that she probably hears vibrations and stuff. Um, but they just seem so like happy and like
Just a
even
wholesome
this.
TikTok.
Right, yeah, the sister recording, she like knows sign like fluently. You see in the videos her family talks to her in sign. Um and she even says like, oh, her sister wouldn't she could have gotten like an implant, but she chose not to. Like she likes the deaf community. But some of her videos now have been about, like, how they put like someone's comment, and
Mhm,
someone's like, "Oh yeah, like making a joke out of a deaf person's experience or whatever." Um, how they can interpret sound essentially. And the sister's like, no, like she likes doing this. Like
mhm.
we have fun. Like, so I don't know if what do you guys think about something like that?
I enjoy a wholesome TikTok 100%. There's families vibing, doing their thing. Come
And the
across those
deaf
every
the
once in a
deaf
while.
sister, she's laughing. She literally,
Yeah.
like, some of the videos, she can't even contain herself. Like, that's how funny she finds it. Like,
I don't know. I don't know enough about it, and I don't know. I guess my like first reaction is kind of like, is that like okay? You kind of like I
she's
don't know.
definitely putting her out there. Like, she's
Yeah,
definitely,
like you're
because
kind of you're
she sounds like silly, like, because it doesn't,
yeah
she's trying to make sounds or whatever, but she can't hear. But
yeah
um,
like an instinctual like a reflexive response for me. It sounds like oh you're kind of like exploiting her deafness to like,
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's
but
some of
like
the
I don't know,
nature of it.
but I can't say for sure. So like I'm not,
Yeah, I mean, now that I think about it, I guess I would worry,
and
like,
like
are
I would
people
also
laughing
wonder,
at her or are they laughing with her?
Yeah,
or just
If they're having a good time, though, like,
or is it just
whatever.
fair to like do that? I don't know.
yeah.
Like pointing out, I don't know, pointing out her.
I think if it was, I like thought about it. I think if it was two people who have regular hearing, um, make it like
Making
emulating a deaf
jokes.
person, yeah, like
Yeah.
that would be wrong. But she's a deaf
Oh
person.
yeah.
She would say if she was okay, not okay with it, and she's also
What's
her
the,
sister.
well, sometimes like the idea that you're not aware of like something that's like inappropriate, or like you view it with the best of intentions because it's a
Mhm.
relative or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
It doesn't give that vibe, but I can see that. Yeah, I mean, she's definitely
Speaking
like
of,
old enough, but
I guess, deaf content, there's a really good movie on Amazon Prime, Sound of Metal, starring Riz Ahmed. It's
oh
about a
yeah,
guy
I've
who
seen
loses his hearing.
advertisements about that. Yeah,
Really
hmm,
good movie, like one of the best movies that I've seen recently. Check that out.
you said it's on Amazon Prime.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I
Amazon
don't
Prime's
have
kind of
Amazon
crushing it
Prime.
recently.
I've seen, but I don't have it, so I gotta
what's it called?
get it.
Sound of Metal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Where are
All
we
right.
going now?
Let's get into this article that I came across from GQ magazine. Um, so I was scrolling through Instagram, and there's this article about uh, a pretty popular politician, Andrew Gillum from Florida. And I remember first hearing about him when he lost, from all you might know, was it a Congress race? Or like he was trying to
Uh,
get or like a governor? I think it
Governor.
was a
Yeah,
governor.
Governor
Governor,
Troy.
he lost
Yeah,
to DeSantis. Yeah.
yeah. So that's when I had first heard about him. There was a lot of people pushing for him. A lot of the like black content creators or just like media people that I follow were like pushing him and like propping him up to get that
Hmm.
governor seat. So I did have like some knowledge of him. I had seen
He
videos of
definitely had a
him.
lot of Democratic support.
Yeah. So he apparently I didn't even hear about this until
Oh, you
I don't
did?
know a few days ago.
Really? Oh, that's been.
Yeah. So apparently, like it happened around the same time that COVID was like really hitting. So it seemed like it came out, but then COVID just like destroyed the media coverage of it.
Hmm.
But apparently, he was caught naked in his own vomit uh, with a sex worker, a male sex worker, who had also overdosed that night.
He
And
wasn't caught. They posted pictures about it.
well, yeah, but I mean that some guy, a third guy who had an appointment with the sex worker, found them in that state,
Well,
Yeah,
and
allegedly.
allegedly, I mean, he was there. I mean,
who was in the
someone
photo?
But we
someone
don't.
took those photos.
Well, we don't know the truth about any of this really. So
I mean, we
it's
don't know
still
the truth.
really
We only know
murky.
what was
They're quick.
said by either side of
Yeah.
the conversation. But what's being reported is that someone took that photo. They don't know where the leak of the photo came out. But anyway, you have this major kind of rising star politician caught in this scandal of one, being on drugs and being passed out, uh, and then also the
Mm.
other element of it of being a homosexual relationship. Uh, you know, when he
Or yeah,
was
potentially like yeah,
when it was assumed
married.
that he was well, he's definitely married, but it was assumed that he was a straight male. So just I guess
Hmm.
first thing, like, what were you guys' thoughts? I didn't know that you guys even knew about this. I guess Kamal, you knew about this. What were your thoughts on it from the jump?
I didn't know. I didn't know about it. I didn't know about this scandal specifically. I knew about Andrew Gillum, but um, you can go ahead. Come on. Do you have any thoughts first?
Well, yeah, like I heard about it when it first came out. Um, I was I don't know, I was indifferent to it. Like
Hmm.
I guess it was like, oh, okay, and I kind of just went on with it. I don't know, maybe if it like because I
Was
don't
that
remember
because
the.
he wasn't a politician that you particularly cared for, or was it
I
like
mean, I probably wouldn't care even if he was a politician. I would like even if he like was someone that I was like,
basically what I'm asking is if
well,
you found out that Bernie Sanders was gay and a drug abuser, would that change your mind?
if I found out that he was gay, no,
Or bisexual and a drug
no.
abuser? Or a closeted
Um,
homosexual and a drug
we
abuser?
don't know about a drug abuser. Like we saw that the allegation was.
Alcoholic. Alcoholic.
Yeah, it was more
What's the thing?
alcoholism.
It was no, because they said they found like the allegation was it was like meth or something, right? Or like
Yeah, they
party
found crank.
drugs.
They said there was a mix of drugs that were found there. I think what he admitted to was taking um,
G,
G, which is like a form of
ecstasy. Yeah.
ecstasy. But they
Apparently,
were saying, yeah, there
apparently,
was a medley of
gay
drugs.
men take it to
Apparent.
like boost their
Yeah,
sex drives or whatever.
yeah.
That's what the article says.
Yeah. So for one, that's not necessarily any type of
Okay,
addiction.
let's
But no,
roll it back. Alcoholism, because he did admit to alcoholism. He went to rehab for alcoholism.
okay. What about it again? Sorry.
Would that impact your thoughts or how you respect Bernie or think of Bernie? Like, would those things change your mind?
Not really.
No,
No.
no, but I kind of agree. Because
Like
like with
like
the
these are
whole
all
Andrew Gillum thing, like
these are all personal and like super like these nothing to do with
He's a
like
leader of the state. Like,
yeah, but like he's also a
you
human
want
being.
somebody
Like
who does stuff like that
o-
to be a
okay,
leader of the state?
but Mike, he was doing that and he was a rising star and he was fine. Like I think he's gonna be all right.
well,
Like
for one, he
everyone
wasn't
has
in
their
a
vices.
he wasn't in a position of power. He was like a popular like um
I
Yeah,
would
but
figure.
no.
he has Bernie. He
He
has if it
was
was Bernie
rising.
though.
But that's
He
it
let's say
wasn't Bernie though.
let's
He
say
won
he
the
did become the
primary.
governor. Let's say he did become the governor though, and
Yeah, it
he
would be a
still
big
had
shaming
this.
thing.
It would. I'm not saying that. Obviously, it would be a big shaming thing. That's what it was. But I'm saying like, would you? Do you feel comfortable with your political leaders? You know,
Yeah,
having
I don't this using sex
drug
workers.
binges.
I don't think using the sex worker thing. I mean, I think it's scandalous, and I think that like you should like if you're into stuff like that and you want to be in the life of politics, like you have to be more open, and you have to, like there obviously our society doesn't accept it. I accept stuff like that, but like you have to be more open. But he was deceiving about it. It seems like at
Right.
least to his family, and I mean the drug use I don't think is acceptable at all. Like
Well, he's it's
But what if
for
he's
one thing,
still
it's
good
a
at his job?
party. Yeah, for one thing, it's a party drug. So like I don't. I'm not holding like that against him. One thing, he's not in a position of in office. So like comparing him to Bernie, they're completely two different figures, like drastically. Like
Well, that was a
could
separate
you
question.
imagine Bernie? Could you just for a second, like, could you
that was
imagine,
mostly a
like,
joke.
but yeah, but
I
it just
thought that would have been
he's found
apparent,
with
but I
some like
guess not.
40-year-old guy who goes by Mittens. Get it?
Yeah, I see what you did there. See the fallback. The Bernie
yes,
thing was a joke. I was trying to get under Kamal's skin with the Bernie comparison, but I'm just
no.
saying, like, go ahead.
Well, like politics is weird, especially like nowadays. So like yeah, there's a lot of sensitivity to image and things like that, and
Hmm.
there are different things that like we should be holding like politicians accountable for, and like things that are like personal that shouldn't matter in regards to like their ability to produce the office. So like
Hmm.
it's like I don't know. I'm assuming the sex worker is like soliciting one is illegal in Florida, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right. So like so yeah,
Yes.
he's committing a
To my
crime like
knowledge, I don't know.
he's
From
I've
what
never tried.
yeah,
so
right.
like the mix of committing these crimes would be something that like you would want to hold your like public officials accountable for.
Hmm.
But like
Yes.
the whole part of it is that like that's not the biggest part of it. Well, that's somewhat, but a lot of it is like the mix of like the salacious nature of like the drugs, the sex worker, and it being a male sex worker. So it's like, oh my God, we have all this,
Hmm.
this like, I don't know, this cocktail of like
Yeah, I mean, it
salacious
was really a
material.
perfect storm.
Yeah, in the
It's like
worst way.
not only did you kind of you were like forcibly outed, but you were outed on drugs and passed out in your own vomit. Like that's just like
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
there was,
it to me it just shows one thing. It shows that he is uncontrolled. He is not uncontrolled. He's not in control of his image um or his behavior. Like, obviously it's just as bad if a politician is doing something terrible on the side that people generally don't agree with, but he gets away with it. So that's controlling the image. And but then there's the other side of like he's doing things that people just generally like don't find fit for a leader and stuff. um so he's not in control of his image. He's not in control of himself. How could he then logically be in control of what he's charged with being in control of an office?
the thing is he wasn't, he lost. So like that's the whole thing. He didn't win.
but
He
you keep saying that, but like he did hold public official like roles. Like he didn't win the governor's seat, but
Yeah.
he
So
was,
what
you know, like a
was he?
councilman. Like he was he
Yeah, I
was
know.
on the
I'm
He was
aware.
rise.
on the he was on the list. He was on the list for becoming VP.
Right.
Yeah.
So like he
So
didn't
I mean,
get
he
those, but
needs
he
to.
did hold like
Yeah.
you're saying it like, oh well, he didn't have those jobs, so like it doesn't
What
matter.
does it
But like this guy
matter?
has had, if he has had significant political positions, and again, just my question is like, you know, we know, you know, Kamal will be the first one to bring up drone strikes with Obama. Like I would rather have a president. Like I would rather have a president who like you know dabbles in homosexuality than who like you know unnecessarily causes or starts wars and you know
Well, you
kills
see, the
people like
homosexuality is, yeah, like there are tiers. So yes, starting wars and killing innocent people is a lot worse than like soliciting prostitutes and
right
taking illegal party drugs. Yeah, but like that's the thing. The homosexuality is definitely doesn't matter at all.
right
Um,
Well, I think it matters in the sense that he was. So I don't. So correct me if I'm wrong about the article, but was he fully like out to his wife or the woman that he was, ended up being married to?
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
the
no.
I think no I think the wife yeah
She
the
knew,
wife
but they
was
weren't
aware.
sure about
There was
going
at
at
least
like
there
public.
was at least right there was at least one other political advisor that was aware and said no, you should not be out as bisexual.
Yeah, I'm not okay. I'm fine with him being gay. That's not why I mentioned it. My thing is like
He's
no matter
bisexual,
if
not gay.
you're or right. If he's bisexual, I have no problem with that. It's more the deceit about it,
Hmm.
right? Because like no matter what your sexual orientation is, like if it's like a deceitful, like, and I think it's a specific situation that's relevant specifically to politicians. Obviously, like normal people, they're not gonna just be out to everybody. That's totally fine. I mean,
Hmm.
like we're supposed to like trust this person, and they're not out.
Wait,
But
so
I
wait,
understand that
you
there's
have a
a
problem with him being
component there.
deceitful in you have a problem with him being deceitful in possibly not having his sexual like orientation open,
N-
or about his like his actions open.
Um, I would say his actions more
Okay, yeah,
because
that's fine. But like,
yeah,
because like for me, cheating on your wife is not a fireable offense. Like hiding that you're bisexual from your wife is not a lose your job, can't hold public office offense,
Hmm.
in
But in
my
the world that
opinion.
we live
I
in,
I w-
he would definitely lose his job
yeah.
for that.
I don't know.
If he
I
was
think
if he
being
was
a
cheating on his wife,
politician.
I feel like I feel like the
I shouldn't say he would lose
establishment
it.
like the establishment like I don't know, not bubble, but like the establishment like way
There's
of
that
thinking might pressure him into like if you had a scandal about like an affair, that would
Mhm.
they would press you into that. But I don't
Right.
think that's necessarily
Yeah,
fair
that's
or
true.
right.
Because like we
But
look
like what
at Clinton. I mean, that situation is kind of similar. He was caught in a scandal cheating. He what happened there? He was impeached, but he
he was
stepped down before he
impeached.
got impeached. No, but
No,
was
he
he
wasn't
like
impeached by
officially
the
impeached?
Senate, or he wasn't impeached by one of either the House or the Senate.
Didn't
I
he
don't
like
know.
step down or something before it got to that?
Clinton?
I don't know if
No,
I'm remembering it correctly,
No,
no,
I
but it
think
was
he
like
finished.
it was
or I'm
about
thinking of
like
someone else, the other
but it
president was
was
impeached.
about perjury and stuff like that because like
Hmm.
the idea was at that time the climate was that like you like it would be unacceptable for you to be like be a president or a high public official
Hmm.
to be having an affair,
Yeah.
particularly with a staffer. So like
Hmm.
If you're saying you represent people, okay, and the people that you represent don't hold those values as um, good values, then how could you be a leader of them?
values that's a slippery slope because like what does cheating on your wife have anything to do with whether you believe
You're
that
deceitful to her, so you're
the healthcare
deceitful to the
system
population.
that's 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 an extrapolation that you have no proof of.
I don't need proof of it. It's a
Yeah, it
character
does.
flaw.
People lie about everything. You So like, if are you assuming that like, oh, you've lied about stuff in the past, that means you shouldn't hold a job, you shouldn't be trusted
No,
with?
no, no, we're talking about politicians.
Yeah,
Politicians are supposed to be truthful people. They're supposed to be representatives. So
they're
truth,
supposed to be. They're supposed
the
so they're not supposed to be make mistakes or
no, I'm not saying they're not supposed to make mistakes. They're not supposed to necessarily cheat on their wife. It's also a very public thing.
mm,
If it
Is
wasn't as
is
that's
cheating
public,
on your wife a mistake though, or is that a choice? I mean,
well, I
like
think it could be a
there's
mistake and a choice.
there's an active no, but like when I think of mistakes, I think of like I accidentally
Too
knocked
much cheddar in your
this
mac and cheese.
like that was an accident, like that was a mistake that I made. I'm thinking of mistake in the term of like I made an oopsie. Like actively cheating on your wife, that's not the same type of
Yeah,
mistake.
like
Like
that's an affair.
like you
but
made a choice to do that, and like maybe you made the wrong choice, and we say, oh, he made a mistake. But like,
wait, let's go back though, cause sorry,
no, no, no,
Let's,
you're
let's
already cutting
flesh
out.
this out.
cause cause like cause like
Flesh this out.
we're getting into something about like the idea of
The role of politicians.
personal like how much does a politician owe to his constituents, and I
Mhm.
say I draw the line at like illegal illegal acts.
I mean, you could first of all,
So
adultery
like
technically it's at one point was illegal, and if you're drawing
what was
lines like
one
that,
time
you could say
illegal?
that
Wait, hold on. What was one time illegal?
Adultery.
adultery.
Oh, we want to go to that.
Well, I'm just
We don't,
saying, like,
what well, it's
like
not. It's one is not illegal, and if you want to go to that, slavery was legal at one point. So legality in the past
that's an
doesn't.
extrapolation.
But it's the truth. That's directly what you're saying. You're saying if something was illegal or legal in the past, that makes it make what
Fair game.
determines whether it's okay or not. So like I'm saying, if you're not committing crimes,
Mhm.
then I
Well,
don't believe that.
but I'm the
I don't
reason why I'm
believe that
making
that's
that
something you should be
point
removed
though.
from your office for it.
The reason why I'm making that point though is because you're saying that as long as it's not illegal. What I'm saying is laws are relative through time. Like we make
Exactly.
new laws all the time.
Okay.
So just because it's not illegal, like I mean, even just look at our country. Things are legal in one state and not the other. So like
But that's my
you
whole point. It doesn't.
you need with
That's
a
where you hold. That's where
politician.
I'm holding the line. So if you disagree, if you find out that a politician had an affair, and that goes against your values, that you believe that because of this affair they're too untrustworthy to hold the office and
I think that's totally
be appropriate,
respectable.
then you vote them out. But they shouldn't be forced out because of
No,
um
I don't think they should be forced out. That's
exactly. That's
I
the
don't think
whole.
I think they should be I think people should not vote for them. I
Yeah,
think
that's
people
fair. Yeah, when you're voting for someone, you make
I'm not saying if
a
you have
judgment based on
an
their
affair as a
politics and their
politician, you have to be voted out. Like
Okay,
that's not what
okay.
I'm
So
saying.
here's a quick question, because you guys are talking about things that are legal, things that were once legal or were not. So let's say an active state governor or something like that is
The example is the guy
where
in the office.
wait. Let's say a governor where purchasing weed is illegal. Let's say he gets caught buying weed, but other states it's legal to purchase weed, right? And Kamal is saying you draw the line at illegal activity. So let's say in this guy's state, it is illegal to purchase weed. He gets caught purchasing weed. Should he lose his seat?
People can call for it. You because we all make our own moral judgments
But
about.
what I'm asking you, because you said you draw the line at
Mhm.
laws, breaking laws. So would you say that it's justified for him to lose his seat since he broke the law?
Over a weed offense. No.
No. So, but then that's what you said. So, like, isn't there then some flexibility then for you with what laws or what types of
Yeah, no. I'm
crimes?
saying no. So yeah. I'm saying that that's the
That's like the basis to start at when you talk about removing a
yeah for like
politician.
removing
Okay.
a politician. So like other
Yeah,
like
but then that could you could
other
go
like
by if he
other like
jaywalked, like
other personal. No, but I'm saying, and then
serial jaywalking.
you obviously use some discretion and some like some common sense when it comes to like
Right.
how you decide or how you feel about something like
That's
that.
all I'm saying about the electorate, like people putting them in power, like the common sense factor. Like this person has obviously it's all circumstantial, but like if they are like a person who's cheated on a spouse over years at a time, if they're like a specifically like a what do you call it, like a greedy person, like they make like shady business deals and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like that's not illegal. I
Wait,
mean,
so
in
I have
some
I have a good
respects, it could
example.
be.
Hold
Okay.
on.
Do you have
Martin
a good
Luther
example?
King was alive today,
Uh-huh.
and he ran for governor of New York.
Right.
Would you vote for him, Mike?
I don't know. I don't. What are you saying that because he did something wrong?
I'm actually.
From
Are
what you
you?
know about Martin Luther King,
Would you
Well,
vote
I
for
mean, I
him?
know. Yeah, I would probably vote for him.
you
I
go.
mean,
So
but
he was a
he
serial
was
adulterer,
He was a
right,
serial
right.
adulterer.
and it's a known
So,
fact, and it was used against him in his career. So, like,
I
I
would,
so,
guess
and I
that's
would
Kamal's
make the
question.
argument. I would make the argument that clouds some of his judgment as a politician.
But you
would you
would vote
still
for
vote
him.
for him?
I probably would still vote for him.
Exactly. So you weigh the seriousness and the action and like the
That's all I'm saying.
morality of
That's
different
all I'm
decisions.
saying. That
Yeah,
it weighs into it. I'm not saying that it should be
and
the
I'm
end all
saying,
be all.
for me, personal about like things within a marriage
Andrew Gillum is
are
not Martin Luther King. Like that's
no.
that's also I want to make a point
No.
about that.
I'm just saying you have a well known, beloved figure
Mhm.
who has been known about to have committed adultery, yet we don't wash out his entire complete character, all the work he's done, and the work
No,
we
no, of
believe he
course
could
not.
have done
Of course,
because of
he
his
wasn't
adultery.
found in a hotel high on smack with a couple of
but Mike, to your argument,
prostitutes.
if he was deceitful to his wife, maybe he's going to be deceitful to the American people. So maybe he's
I
not
stand
deserving of
strong
your
on
vote.
that. Yeah, I think if
Yeah.
there was a better non-adulterer, I would vote for them.
So, if there was a
but
Uh,
version of Dr.
but
King
like
that
you
is
gotta weigh
an
it.
adulterer,
Like, is there gonna be
yeah.
uh,
another Martin Luther
I
King
don't know.
Jr.? Like,
That seems a little bit. That seems a little. I don't know.
A little
Judgmental.
wishy-washy.
Um,
So you're
but
judging Andrew Gillum on his lack of MLK qualities. He's not there yet.
yes. Well, when it comes to voting for him over Martin Luther King, yes, that's the most relevant.
Okay. I mean, I get it. I get it.
okay, so in like coming across this story, and it's something I think we've like discussed personally, but like I'm not sure if we discussed it on a podcast. Like the idea of him being bisexual has come up,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I think I find that's one of um I'm like really interested in like the social like the cultural discussion around that.
Right.
Um, for me, because I mentioned to you guys, I feel like there are like almost I feel like there are tiers within the like uh L,
Acceptability of
LGBTQ like spectrum,
Yeah, but
and
what
I
do you
feel
mean
like
by that? Like tiers
so
within like
like
how serious you are about this, or like
all right. So this is the way I'll put it. So like I feel like lesbians and gay people um it's become more and more culturally accepted that
Mhm.
like lesbians
that's
are
acceptable lifestyle.
or that or they understand that that's real and valid
Mhm.
and legitimate the
Right.
same way
Mm,
gay
Mhm.
people, and that
Mhm.
it's and there's been a big groundswell for that with in recent years in terms of with trans people, right? A lot more
Mhm.
education, a lot more awareness and acceptance,
Mhm.
but I feel like
bisexual still fringe.
yeah, when it comes to bisexuality, um, the discussion is so much more dismissive
Fraught.
and
Yeah.
like phobic. So like
Mhm.
one they mentioned in the article, and this is also something I've experienced, like just hearing conversations online and like with other people. Um, for one, this idea that like bisexuality doesn't exist, that like, or particularly when it comes to men, and black men particularly,
Hmm.
that like bisexuality isn't a real thing, that
Right.
you're
You're
just
down
saying
low.
that, but you're actually gay.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um.
Yeah, and
That
the
yeah. That,
notion that the article talks about, in the black community itself, thinking of, like, it's not acceptable to come out as fully gay, like, so, like, you
You kind
hold
of
down a
latch on this
marriage,
other thing. Yeah. You just
and
latch
then,
on this
yeah, on the
marriage just to
side,
kind
you're,
of
like,
yeah.
float it
doing what
by.
you need to, yeah.
You claim bisexuality. So
Mm.
I thought that was an interesting. And another thing I've heard is the idea of, particularly when I've asked, like I've heard like some women talk about it,
Hmm.
is that it's when it comes to men, is that bisexuality is men being greedy. Have you guys heard that before?
Yikes.
I've
No,
never
I'm
heard
not.
that. No.
I've heard that quite a bit.
Hmm.
Have Have you guys heard that? So like the idea that like I've always found that to be like extremely like weird.
Yeah. I mean,
Like
I
I'm
definitely
getting
see
deja
how.
vu. I feel like we've talked about this before.
Well,
I think
what we talked about, I think, off camera. But what we were talking about then was like the threat that some women feel about dating a bisexual man
yeah,
because they
Mm.
feel that they would be playing both fields. Um, More to like what Kamal was saying about just being greedy. I think that like societally, culturally, whatever, we have this notion of men as being like insatiable sex loving like creatures, like
yeah,
we just
Fiends.
can't get enough. And then on the opposite spectrum, like women are supposed to be like dainty and cute and like, oh, they don't think about sex and like, which obviously isn't true. But I think that argument that you're hearing about like men just wanting more, and it makes me think of like historically, like men in positions of power have also, or like rock stars, or like I think of Alexander the Great was like historically like bisexual, and like they just want to conquer, like they just want to conquer anything that gets in front of them. And we see rock stars all the time have said that they've had sex with both men and women just because like there's so much available to them and they need to fill this thing. So like I see where that comes from, like the bisexuality being a greed or a thirst, but I think
yeah,
that's totally invalid. I think those are two different things.
yeah,
Like I think you can be a sex addict, and I think you can also be a bisexual person.
yeah. And I don't think they're even closely related to one another. That's um, the yeah, that's and like I feel like there is some like I don't know some there's a that's why I was talking about tiers, because I feel like in terms of like these more accepted sexual
Orientation.
Orientations.
orientations and lifestyles and ways of being, that like
Mhm.
bisexuality has like the seems to have like the worst kind of conversation around it, like the worst
Right.
respect for it as like existing as a thing. And it's just funny because like it's like tokenized and like dismissed regularly, or it's like looked upon with like great suspicion and like and almost phobia. So it's like bisexuality is just like it's not legitimate. It's just people who like men claim who be bisexual are just
But look,
gay men
it's
who
it's
don't
in
agree.
that it's in that acronym, right? So we start with lesbians and gays, right? That's what we start with. We got the
Yeah,
LG. We're good with the LG right now, okay?
yeah.
Now the B and P, it's up in the air still. Like
Nah, but like
that's still
the
being
whole thing
discussed.
is the T is way. I feel like the T is way above the B though.
No,
But
I disagree. I think there's
What?
way
the
more
B has been around.
animosity,
I think it's questioned. Yeah, the T I think definitely gets more animosity, like physical
like
threats and
physical
Yeah,
danger.
yeah,
violence,
yeah.
Like no one
like,
But
getting
yeah.
beat up for being bisexual. You'll probably get
yeah, but
clowned.
because being bisexual often is often like disregarded, or like I said, or fetishized,
Right.
or like diminished.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm saying. The tiers are and we were ranking the letters by like the tiers of
But
like
it's exactly how it is, though. It's like the
no, I
LG
don't think
come
so.
first.
So
The
like
L and the G come first.
yeah,
Then
and
it's
then
the
the
B and the T. You got to group them
oh
together.
well, I'm saying the T is in a completely different tier than the B.
Who does the whole thing, the
Higher
whole
or
bit
lower?
about it? Dave Chappelle. Is that
I
it?
don't remember.
In
The
his
oh
stand
the
up.
car in the car, yeah.
Yeah,
The
all the
alphabet
people in the car.
in the car.
But wait, so you think that okay? So if L and G are at the top tier, you
Yeah,
think
and
it's
there's
T and B?
I feel like yeah, I feel like it's if we're going to go to those four and not including like was it IA no QIA plus
Q I
like
A.
not
Yeah.
we're not going to discuss those at the moment. No disrespect, but if we're going
I
to
don't
like
know. I don't honestly. I don't have enough background knowledge to talk.
well
I
no
was just gonna say. I was
you
just.
can just go on personal knowledge and like personal like experience and like how, what you think about the topic.
I mean, I think gay would come before lesbian with in terms of you're talking about your tiers
Hmm.
with acceptance within society. I don't think transsexual is is as would be as accept although technically transsexual is not on the same plane as bisexual. Where am I incorrect? Would it be compared to transgenderism or would it be compared to transsexualism?
Well, you're bringing in a whole other thing. We're just talking about the grouping,
I
not the. Just what Kamal is saying. I think is that bisexual people have a not to like minimize it, but like a harder time, or they're less accepted, or um, they maybe experience more backlash or criticism than transgender people,
Not
which
even backlash.
I disagree with.
mm,
No, I'm not saying but more. I'm not saying more. I'm saying it's is
There's
different.
levels
Like
though.
I feel like yeah, and I'm saying there's levels, and I'm saying that like so so like women who claim to be bisexual or like heterosexual men that's often like fantasized and fetishized as like oh that's cool. Girls who are into guys and girls, meaning
Hmm.
they like girls but they also like guys, so
Hmm.
threesomes, yada yada yada.
Right.
Um, but there's also like this this notion attached to that, like of being a like if you're attracted to both men and women, that like you're also more um promiscuous, like less loyal and
yeah.
Hmm.
faithful and like less capable of like long-term relationships. Like that's a notation that's like attached to bisexuality
Hmm.
Yeah, but think
that's
about the notions that are attached to transsexuality, like the idea that if they go into a girl's bathroom, that they're gonna somehow cause I don't even know what people imagine like cause problems for other women or girls or something like that. Like it like that to me is more even a more attached to like violence, or the idea that people think that transsexual people cause more like bodily harm and stuff like that and they're
you mean to
it,
themselves.
it could be to themselves, not to themselves, no, I mean like to other people, like it's more
Hmm.
otherism than bisexualism is to regular like
Maybe.
cisgenderism. I was
Maybe.
just gonna say I think bisexualism um is just as bad though because it's I think it's something more like that people don't understand as well because you can think about being gay. I mean, you're okay. I'm attracted to men instead of women,
Hmm.
um, or I'm lesbian. I'm attracted to women instead of men. Whereas the bisexual nature um, and transsexual nature, really, like people don't understand it. They can't put their finger on it as well. Not that they need to, but they um they can't understand the idea of like, oh, I'm attracted to both, or multiple different types of people, and so that I think that's why there's more negative connotations. I think for both,
Yeah.
um,
Well.
but I just wanted to say I think that the relation that people make between or the connection that people make between being bisexual or transsexual, um, and being promiscuous or less trustworthy or that they're going to cheat for some reason. Like just because you're a person who is attracted to both men and women doesn't make you more promiscuous. I mean, that's ridiculous. Like in the history of people, we could probably make the case that like more
People.
heterosexual people have cheated. Like that's crazy. That's really crazy. I think it's more like sexual, like maybe people relate it to the connotation of like sexual freedom and
Mhm.
people coming out and that kind of and free sex and that kind of thing. But I like
Sexual orientation has
me
nothing to do with sexual desire. That's the thing.
yeah. I think even
Just
today there's some media out there that shows that people are attracted to men and women or whatever, but they're not. They might even be more closeted towards sexual engagement with people because they're afraid that they're going to be judged and that kind of thing.
Mm,
right.
yeah. Mm, yeah.
Bring in
But
Andrew Gillum.
yeah, bring in Andrew Gillum.
Mhm. Right.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good. I think it's a good segue just into something that I wanted to bring up about a popular show right now, or I think it's popular. I don't know, maybe just
It's
among
it's
white
it's
people.
popular. No, it's
Yeah,
popular.
it's popular. Bridgerton, the show about um, this young woman who is was on the hunt to be married, to be wed, and essentially um, she's she's in this in cahoots with the a black male actor for being married. He's a duke, right?
Mhm.
He's a
I
duke,
don't
and
watch
she
it.
would.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. He'd be a duke. She's a duchess or whatever, or she would be a duchess. Anyway, in the show, it takes place like 1813, maybe. I think that's one of the years that they mention. The queen is, and it's in British society, so it's like it's very heavy on the classism, and the queen is black, um, and the duke is black, and so there's parts in there that they talk about like, oh, the king picking a black woman opened the door for black people in society in general to move up and to hold different standings that they would never have held.
Mhm.
And it takes place in the early 1800s. So I wanted to bring it up because it was something that I was like wrestling with, the idea, because I'm very like into things being historically accurate, but at the same time, obviously I know that there's room in media for creativity and stuff. And they do address the historical inaccuracy, because I looked it up and it's based on it's based on one queen or and king, but there were rumors that they were biracial, but it was never actually like real, like it wasn't
Mhm.
confirmed.
Mhm.
um and there's these people in high society in the show that are black so it didn't make sense to me at first. It was like, this is not a real portrayal of history, but it's also a creative take. So I'm just curious if you guys think that it's harmful to watch it, um,
Mhm.
or is it providing more space where media and TV can be, you know, just trying to think of it like it like basically, is it a good thing that they're experimenting with showing it in a different way,
Mhm.
where they
Like
they
recasting
pinpointed, okay,
history.
this, right, yeah, like recasting, yeah, yeah, exactly, and thinking about shows like Hamilton and stuff. Is that a good thing, or is it harmful?
Come on, you go first. Seems like you're chomping at the bit.
Not really. I mean, there's like I don't know. We would characterize it's like a like I don't know like like a soapish like drama like set in like not medieval but like like 17 1800 British society, right? It's set in
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, like what's that? Not the, was that the revolution? No, that's not the. It's like
Yeah, like the
when it's
revolutionary
like,
period, like the
yeah, like people, like women had to get married. They gave dowries, and
yeah,
that was
okay.
their purpose, basically.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know, a more like hip modern version of of like Downton Abbey, stuff like that. Maybe like almost. I mean, if it's not portraying itself like as like a historical like show like depicting these true events in
Mhm.
British society, then if it's not like a work of nonfiction, if it's a fictional just placed in that time, then like yeah,
You could play with it.
you can play with it if you want. Like if you some people like they want to keep it like I don't know, based in the time period. So it's like, oh, there weren't like a bunch of black people in high society. There was no black queen
Right.
in um in British like royalty at the time. It's like, okay, it's fiction, it's made up. It's supposed to be like a very like it's supposed to be like a gossipy show about gossip and drama between like British royalty and things like that. Like if you want more like this is a show that's taking this particular take. They want they wanted a diverse cast and diverse representation in their storytelling. That's fine with me. Like if you there are other shows about this period that are more accurate that focus on real people, real like actual historical figures. Was it? It's a
Mhm.
popular one. The Crown. That's a big one,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Crown, and then there's like a bunch of others that they're always constantly making about that period. So like
Right.
I don't know. It's not that big a deal to me.
I agree. I think like there's like to answer your question, I think this is kind of your question. Like I think 100% is absolutely space for this type of content to be made. I think representation is a huge thing. So for a young black person to see themselves portrayed as a queen or as like a member of high society, like I think that is important. It's good for people to see. Other than that, I think for me, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, well, it's not historically accurate, throw it in the trash. Like, if it's a good story, if you're telling me, some good message or there's something to be gained from it, I'm more likely to lean into that side of it than, well, you know, it's not 100% accurate because black people weren't in those positions. Like, I know that. Like, I don't need to be told that or have that pointed out to me. So I think it's as long as the content is good, and I don't know that it's good because I haven't watched it, but it seems like people are into it. Maybe just because that the lead black guy is hot. I think people that's like the common
Listen,
judgment
I
after that
watched
scene
it
is that
pretty much
he's
to
an
the
attractive
end,
man.
okay? And I'm not
Yeah.
attracted to men, so this has got to be something more.
A little bit, a
I
little
don't
bit. You might be
I don't
Andrew Gillum.
I mean, yeah,
No,
he's
I'm just
definitely
kidding.
he's a
I'm just
handsome
kidding.
man.
No, but yeah, I think 100% there's space for those types of media. One other thing I'll say is like I think historically, because we're so used to having, like the shows that Kamal mentioned, like what is it? Abbey, Downton Abbey, Downton Abbey, and
Downtown.
and The Crown, and like those, like we know those are so historically accurate, and I think a lot of the criticism that we'll get from those are maybe not necessarily criticism, but commentary is like, oh well, where are the black people? Like there were no black people in England at the time, or anything like that. I think when you're a show creator and you want to bring people of color,
Diversity.
black people, diversity into your shows, I think this is an interesting way to do it. But I also feel like what we need to get away from, in a sense, instead of trying to put black people in places where they necessarily weren't, why don't we just go to where there were black people? Like I'd much rather see a queen in Africa. Like show me that story. Don't try to insert me into like white society. So that's
yeah,
like kind of the
that's
angle that
another
I would
thing.
take because like I just don't think that's necessary in that sense to like, oh well, what if black people were in like we did have black royalty in other places. Let's go watch that show.
That's another yeah, that's the biggest thing. That's why I find it's interesting because like yeah, instead of like telling these stories where we're like where people complain like oh that's not historically correct. There weren't any black royalty. How about
Yeah,
you actually tell the stories of black individuals in upper
right.
society in
Because
different
it's not
cultures?
like it doesn't exist. It's just
Because the
that
thing,
white people
but
won't
the thing,
watch it
not only that, but the thing is that when you do tell those stories,
unless Eddie
you
Murphy's starring.
you whitewash them. Like how many times, like how often when you're telling, like for one, if they ever discuss like Africa, it's always Egypt,
Yeah,
and
Brad Pitt is always the star
it's always yeah, it's
somehow.
always they always pick like the most Mediterranean like, and then cast it with a bunch of like white people or like people who
Yeah.
like they
Is
like
that
there's
Jesse
never
Pinkman?
like they so there's never like you're not telling the
Prince of
stories of
Egypt
other
reboot starring Jesse Pinkman.
something like that. Right?
Gatorade, me, bitch. In Africa.
You want to
Wait, why?
smell? You want to smell crank?
Wait, why is it that? Why is it that when we say Mediterranean, the first person you think of is Aaron Paul? I'm confused. I'm so confused.
I was
No,
thinking
I
of
was
Jake
just using him
Gyllenhaal and
as
Prince of
I was just
Persia, but he said
Yeah,
that, and I ran with Jesse
yeah.
Pinkman because to me that's way funnier.
And
right. I
I
was
had
just
to
thinking
think.
of an extreme example of like
I had to
white.
think of an example. I had to think of. I was like, wait, who the hell is Jesse? I was like, oh, I was like, wait, why are you talking about? But that
Come
speaks
on,
to.
Mr. White.
But that's my point. It's like
Mr.
so like
Black.
they
Yeah,
don't tell those stories. They don't tell those stories, and then when they do, the characters like you said, they're putting Jake Gyllenhaal as the Prince of Persia. You're always talking about Egypt. Like there's well, I don't even remember. I know how many. There's like there's tens of countries in Africa,
No, yeah, I
and
mean
it's always Egypt. It's always like the
it's the big
the
one.
the one with the like ethnically white country. Like
Right.
what's the like
South Africa?
there's a bunch of yeah. There's a well not South Africa, but like there's a that that region is always the one being told. So it's like
Mm.
never like you never I'll never hear any stories about like Nigerian royalty or anything
Yeah.
like
Unless there's like a
that.
genocide that we
Even
really
So
have
then,
it
to talk about.
sounds
and
like
even yeah.
yeah.
So
So
it's
it sounds like I made a good point here that you guys are agreeing with that it's harmful.
Well, I
wait that
wouldn't
what?
say that the show is harmful.
No, I
The
would say
show
it's just
itself
part.
is not harmful.
It's a misrepresentation.
No, it's not.
No, it's
No,
not what we're saying.
it's a fictitious tale. Like those people aren't, as far as I know, they're not real, right? This is
But
not.
you're making the you're saying like
No,
you
two things
guys
can be true at the same time. That can
Yeah.
still be a good show. Like I told you, the benefits of that show: representation, opportunities to act as of
but you're
color,
saying
like all these
you
different
want to
things.
but you're saying if their intention is to say oh what if black people were royalty in that time in Britain, just show us something real instead.
Yeah, but I know that's not going to get made unless
Well,
Eddie
yeah, but
Murphy's
that
starring
doesn't
it
mean
and
it's
it's
not
coming to America
harmful.
too. That's what I'm saying. Like that's not good. And I get what you're saying. That is a valid point. It is harmful in the sense that if this show is successful, they'll continue to make
Wait, but
that type of show.
this has always
I can
been the
see that.
case, though. But
Well,
that's been
yeah.
a trend for a while. Is that like when you're trying to like you're doing, I guess, period pieces that
Hmm.
aren't like aren't meant to be historically accurate. Then there will be appearances of people of color who wouldn't normally be in that setting, and then there's like backlash on both ends about like
Or
all this all white show or like hey why are these people of color in a region or a time period where these people of color wouldn't be in or let's just say black people that black people wouldn't be in these areas in these time periods in these regions in these
or even like Disney movies or whatever, princesses and stuff in a in a historically white environment and or setting, they're just making them black princesses. Like what you guys are saying is no, don't do that. Show us the actual black royalty from history. Like
but there's almost no like historically like accurate
Black
Disney
princesses?
movies. No,
I was like, where are you
I was
going
Disney
with
gonna
movie
this?
say,
like all Disney is baked in fiction and like and stuff like that in
No, but I
fantasy.
mean, I
So it's
think
like
he's saying like if we can see. I mean, I haven't seen Frozen, but like I would imagine it's based in like Iceland or somewhere where there's white people in snow. But like
that's
why? I
I
think
don't
Mike's
know.
point is like why wouldn't we make you know whatever
We
Disney
don't need
popular movie
we
it's
don't
set
even
in
have good
Africa or something like that.
examples. We don't even
It's
have good examples
Frozen.
because it's
Yeah.
never been shown.
You can throw some black people in Frozen and like it'd be okay. It'd be fine. There's
Nah, if you threw
Yeah,
black
nothing
people in
it's
matter.
not a
Frozen, they'd
big
be like,
deal.
"There's
It's
no
just
black
like
people in
There,
Iceland."
there's
the
also
only
no
one that
talking
I
snowmen
personally like.
in Iceland.
The only one that I
Yeah, but
like,
white people
and
don't care about that. Come on, whenever you tread on their IP, whenever you tread on their IP, you know that they get testy. Like you can't make fictional characters a different race. You can't do it, or they will be upset. Okay.
No, but you see,
and
there's a difference between making race swapping like existing characters and like you creating like I don't know
Fictional world.
Innkeeper number 2 and making Innkeeper number 2 black like in the Frozen universe. Like there's
You're
a
gonna raise
difference.
some eyebrows there. That's all I'm saying.
No,
I'm gonna be
it'll
there.
be
That
fine.
innkeeper is suspiciously dark. I don't trust.
It'll be okay.
I would go
I
so
don't think
far
my
as to
children should
say
watch this show.
the the only example that I would know, like maybe I would think about it, and there would be more. Personally, like, and I feel embarrassed, but like I only know Cleopatra as an example. Like I don't know any other examples that I would
Princess
even
and the
use.
Frog has a black princess. It's the first black Disney princess.
Right, but like, what
Um,
was that supposed to be?
which I
What was
didn't
that?
take my
What was
black
that
card. I didn't see that
representing?
movie either.
Wait, what do
It
you
was
mean? What was
like
it representing? It was
it was like her life in
Because
New Orleans. Like culturally, it was like New Orleans. There was some voodoo involved, I believe.
There's voodoo involved, of course.
yeah, well, yeah. Well,
But that's the extent that I know. I haven't seen it.
it's a magical Disney movie. So yeah, they were
I
gonna
just
do.
mean like what example if someone was like, here, make a legit movie for a younger audience using a black star based in real black history, like
You know, yeah,
maybe like
there
maybe
haven't
not
been
royalty, but
those stories. Yeah, those stories haven't been frequently told in mainstream America. And not told often. Like, giving great focus in Western culture in terms of history and things like.
and
It's
it
obvious. Those
extends too.
haven't been
Think about
told.
it. Like I know the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I'm sure maybe you guys haven't seen it. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I've never seen my big fat Nigerian wedding. Like, you know
I'm,
what I
I would
mean? Like,
watch that.
yeah.
right.
No,
Like, I would probably watch that too.
both can exist. There can be a call for more black stories being told and more stories of different ethnicities getting more mainstream attention. And like when you're making fictional stories in fictional time periods to have a diverse cast, like you're not hurting anybody with that. Um, if the people online are going to be upset about it, who cares? But like, yeah, both can exist. You can have in fictional stories and have a call for more of these stories independently being told and promoted. And
Listen, one of my favorite shows was I don't know if it was one of the first, but I mean, The Office made Daryl Philbin the president in Michael Scarn's, movie. And that's a very white reference, but
Yes,
you
you
know,
lost me 100%.
knew it.
I believe that you
There's
believe
some
it,
people who would get it.
and that's good enough for me.
That you believe it.
Let's get into the next and last thing. Okay.
someone's laughing. Yeah, right.
Speaking of more opportunities for people of color and less opportunities for white men.
Let's talk about the
Get out of
Super
here,
Bowl,
Tom
right?
Brady.
Tom Brady.
Get out of here, Tom Brady. Hand it over, all right? This is Chief Nation now. Chiefs Nation.
Like
my homeboy.
Like they said, the one, like the sketch said, the one constant, the one thing you can rely on is Tom Brady winning games and
Nobody
playing football
rooting for him.
and nobody rooting for him.
Yeah.
So that's funny that they brought that up because I've thought about this for a while and like I think I kind of brought it up online once that like it's sad that like that seems to be the case because if you think about it, Tom Brady has probably like the most like under like I don't know not sympathetic, the most I guess like inspiring like underdog story when it comes to like
is it that
when it
inspiring?
comes
I
to
saw that.
sports.
I saw that in your notes. I
in
saw that
terms
in
of
your
like
notes, and I was like, what
not like
makes Tom Brady inspiring?
not in terms of not in terms. I skip the like not coming from like his family dying or him like being in severe
You're
poverty
talking
and stuff
about
like
the
that.
draft, his draft
I'm talking about
spot.
like like if you're talking about like I don't know one of all right. So let me backtrack and say it. One of them based on just solely um his sports journey,
Mm-hmm.
like solely as a sports figure, not in life. It's like yes,
Yeah.
he's had advantages and things like that. Like just strictly as you if you were telling the story of um like in terms of sports, like he's had a his path will be to me seems way more uh seems is really interesting and like it would in my opinion make him more sympathetic, but I guess like it
But
doesn't
is
work
it?
that same
But I
might
wanna I
make him
wanna
more
tie
not
you to inspiring though. I want to keep you on inspiring. Is
okay.
it inspiring?
So what is it? He's never been the most physically gifted um
Back.
athlete when it comes to the sport. Um, in college, he wasn't even the star of his own team. He's had to the starting role with like two other quarterbacks. Yet he's always was known through college as a guy who rose to the occasion, beating coming through and playing above and beyond in big games against big time opponents. Was known for being coming through in the clutch in college. Had a terrible combine,
I was like,
not
wait,
combine.
I was like, what?
He's
and
he's
you
not
wonder why Tom Brady is hated?
he's not murdered
That is
anybody.
not inspiring at all, sir.
Combine, that's combine. As far as I know, he hasn't murdered anybody. One of the worst combine
That we know of. No.
combine performances ever. And as a result of that and his unsteady appearance in his unsteady um,
Yes,
stature
we
in
get it.
college.
Tom Brady was
Yes,
underrated.
drafted six in the league, drafted in the sixth round, pick 199. Um,
Is that why he took the air out of those footballs?
gets what do you call it? Gets drafted by
That's what Mike.
gets drafted and gets into the gets the opportunity to make a start when the $100 million quarterback who he's backing up for gets hurt. He gets his chance and plays above and beyond above and beyond any expectation they had, and becomes the most accomplished, successful, best quarterbacks
Trump supporter.
of 20 years. Well, for one, so yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
I will never take away from Tom Brady's accolades. I think he is the greatest quarterback of all time. Probably, I kind of wrestle with the quarterback. I get that the quarterback position is the most important, but I guess I would say he's the greatest football player of all time as well. 100%. But I've never liked the guy. And it's just like a thing. I don't have a lot of specific things that I could point
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Say
So like,
definitively,
you're not supposed to like
I
him.
don't.
Like,
right. But I
that's
think
the thing. That's the thing. I don't see like any like serious reasons why.
No. But there's just some people you look at their face and you're like,
yeah,
not for me.
nah,
I felt that way about Mike for years.
There's definitely documented reasons why we shouldn't like him.
Such as what?
Such as Deflategate, such as
Had no significant influence on the game, and
okay, but he still did it though. Like
he didn't do anything, and there was never any proof that he actually did it. So
that he didn't know
if the
about
glove
it
don't
anyway.
fit, you must have quit.
Anyway, he played for
I
the
don't like
Patriots.
that defense from you, Kamal.
Huh?
I don't like that defense from you specifically because I know that you don't believe that.
If the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
I'm gonna let it go because I know you're not serious. But like, continue, Mike.
I mean,
if the balls are flat, you can't attack.
That's enough from you, sir.
Just because it rhymes doesn't mean it's more valid. No, I don't. I don't really have. I would. I don't have great reasons either, but I just like. I just have a very suspicious inkling that every every patriot is a shit is a piece of shit, and so
Based
was
on
Tom
what?
Brady.
I'm so curious.
No, but like the New England Patriots are like definitely a hated team. But I think
Yeah.
it's to their. I mean, a part of it is Bill Belichick, and I think it's just their identity as a team. They're a very white team. Like I've never seen a team with such dominant white receivers. Like it's crazy. Like they just have. Like where do you find these great
Well,
white
not
people from? Like
damn.
how do you
Well, not
untap
Yeah,
that
they have
white
dominant.
that piece
ability?
of shit Gronk, or
Like,
is he even on? Is he even on the
well,
Patriots anymore?
Yeah,
he's not there anymore. He's with Tom
he's on
Brady
the
in
Bucks.
Tampa.
He's in the
Yeah,
Bucks.
Of course he is.
he followed
Of
his boy.
course,
Wait,
he's
you
just
haven't seen the
sucking the dick of.
commercials? You haven't seen the commercials?
No, I don't have cable. As you can
So
tell, I didn't know the Busset challenge.
They're not playing the Busted Challenge on TV, so it's all internet, baby.
Mike would have cable if they were. Anyway,
Yes.
I
But
think
that's the thing, though. But like that's the thing. Like the perception, I guess, is because they're in New England and Boston. But they have like there are tons of like great players on their roster throughout the years that are black. Like I would say I would say most of them are black. Like that aren't Gronk, Brady, and like
the only black.
Julian Edelman. All the well, at least everyone on defense, all the except for Teddy Bruschi, all the
I
famous
was gonna
black
say Vince
players are black.
Wilfork. Vince Wilfork is like the only Patriot
Richard Seymour,
that I know.
Ty Law,
Uh,
Dion Branch, uh, what's his name? I
I
can't think
mean, but
of.
those guys aren't household names like Tom Brady,
Those are great. Yeah,
Brisky,
he's the quarterback.
Brisky. Yeah, but no, I mean, I
Vince
know Teddy
Wilfork
Bruschi.
and Damian Woody. Those are all
Okay,
prominent
Damian
names.
Woody, yes. Damian Woody and Vince Wilfork, I would say yes, are the only
Dion
two black
Branch.
people.
I think Tom Brady's out the window
Did
to
Deion Branch
begin
play
with
his
because
best
he's a
years on the
Trump.
Patriots?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he won Super Bowl MVP one of those years.
Okay.
He
Yeah,
was a Trump. He is a Trump supporter. I don't know if he is still, but
he
that
was
just
one
writes him
in.
No,
off,
I'm
right?
pretty sure he is. I don't think he'll ever not be. I mean, I
You see,
don't.
that's the thing,
That's
though. I don't know. He had the hat in
Why does he
2015.
Why does he get such a benefit of the doubt? Like,
Because 60. Wait, because
once you wear a Trump hat, you always have
right.
a Trump hat
Like
on.
Kamal. I mean, that's another thing too. Like, how do you
2015.
feel about? Okay, I just want to ask real quick. You can give me like a quick answer on this. You
Mhm.
hate? Do you love Tom Brady still? Yes or no?
Love is a strong word.
Okay.
I'm a fan of.
Are you a fan? Okay. You're a fan of Tom Brady post Trump? Yes.
I don't. The thing is, I don't have. This might sound like a cop out, but it's not. I don't have enough information to say to know what he believes at this point. Like
Oh.
I know he had
I
the
don't
hat in
know.
20. Wait.
He
I know,
hasn't committed anything illegal, so
wait, let me actually get it out. He had the hat in 2015, but 2015 is before the general election. 2015 is before Charleston. 2015 is before Black Lives Matter. 2014 is before the immigrants in cages. Is before the
Okay,
insurrection.
so you
So
don't
I don't know.
you don't know if Tom Brady is still a Trump fan. You just know that he had that hat that one time. Fair. I'm
Yeah,
not going to push you any further on that.
yeah.
Kanye West, Trump hat. What was that? 2016. Are you a fan of Kanye West?
Was it 2016? It was after that. It was when he was in
Was
office.
it was 2016?
Yeah,
oh,
Or 2017?
now he's
Was
got
it
facts.
was it
No.
2017?
I have it. No,
Was
he
it
went. Remember
2016 or 2017?
when he went to
I mean, Trump
Trump
was
and
in
had
office.
that
Oh
interview.
yeah, it would have been
20,
January 20. So 2017, then, right?
2017, 2018 one because he had the photo shoot with them one time, and then he actually visited him in the
Okay,
White
I'm
House.
just same
In
same
Trump,
question.
no, he
So
visited Trump
Kanye
often.
West, Kanye West post Trump. Are you a fan?
Wasn't he anti-Trump now? Because
I'm asking you a question. Kanye West post Trump presidency, like right when you saw him engage with Trump, similar to whenever Tom Brady had that hat. Are you a fan of him after that, or is the fact that he's denounced the Trump since then? Do you actually believe that? Because I don't believe that. Like, is
I
that
don't
enough
know.
for you to say you're a fan again?
Well, I'm not. Well, I don't like. He doesn't make good music anymore, so I'm not really a fan.
I mean, he does a lot of other things outside of music. Could still be a fan of him for other things. But yes or no, Kanye West fan post Trump?
No,
Mm. So now
I'm
to
pretty.
Mike's question:
I'm
why
pretty
does Tom
sure.
Brady get a pass?
Hold on, let me see something real quick. I'm pretty sure his appearance at the White House was like even post Charleston.
But
Mhm.
I would make the argument
So
though that
like,
even though it was only 2015 for Tom Brady, like he's a grown man. Like he could have known what Trump stood for in 2015. Like I'm sorry, that's not an excuse.
Also, he hasn't denounced Trump, so we
I
can't
don't
give
hear
him the
any.
benefit of the doubt
Yeah,
necessarily either.
I can't shoot him down either way because I don't have any
But
information. So
but you
he's
shot down
not
Kanye.
political
'Cause Kanye, you said
because
denounced Trump.
Kanye clearly made his like if you hugging Donald Trump in the White House after Charleston saying that he's like a father figure to you,
Hmm.
that's different than
Okay,
having
but now Kanye has at least denounced Trump. Tom Brady has yet to denounce Trump.
he hasn't
I don't,
commented at all. He literally does
He
it
had the hat. The hat is enough. The hat is
was
enough.
it in the?
in
I don't know if it was in the
2015,
White
and he
House either.
yes it
But
wait
okay, so
yeah
if that's the thing, why wouldn't you be like, whoa, whoa, whoa? Remember that hat? Nah, I don't. I'm not with. He didn't do that. He had many opportunities to denounce Donald Trump,
has he
but he
been
hasn't
asked
done
about
so.
Donald Trump after the
I'm
hat?
sure. You don't think anyone
He
has asked Donald Trump,
Wait,
asked Tom Brady about Donald Trump in
Tom
the
I
past
don't
Brady
four
I
is
don't
years?
know.
a
I'm looking at wait Tom Brady
Tom Brady is
interview
a frat boy piece of shit forever. I don't care
interview
about any of his accolades. He can
interview
go burn in
about
a fiery pit.
it's not that serious. Calm down. About you see I can't even I'm trying to find it right now.
You can't find any articles about Tom Brady hating Trump, so he's in the
Yeah.
clear.
So therefore
I think, well, for one, we need to wrap up. I think Kamal needs to do his
yeah.
investigation and get back to us later. So I think we're just gonna end it here. We'll just let everyone linger on that. Do you hate Donald Trump? Because if you do, you should also hate Tom Brady and Kanye West.
I'm
So
okay
Everyday
with that.
Podcast signing out. See you guys next time.